y'all. How you doing? It's your girl QB along with Mr. Best in the World. And
Hey,
you are
family.
tuned into another episode of Q-versations on the Intellectual Soapbox. So let's just get right into our topic. Today we're going to be talking about adulting the fine print. It's like somehow we got duped into signing a contract that we weren't really ready for. How many of us have felt like, okay, once you leave the nest by force or by choice, and it's like you get further down the road, this yellow brick road that's quickly fading into whatever fool's gold. um, it's like you really wish you were closer back to the house where you grew up.
hmm
There's so many things that we take for granted when we're under 18 and or under whatever age, before we leave the house. All the cooking and cleaning and washing and paying bills and yada yada yada. Ooh, once you become an adult and you step out into the world and you say, okay, I'm gonna live on my own. Um, all this stuff is on you now. And here we
mm
are like some little grown up toddlers trying to figure out what to do next. How do I pay my rent? How do I make enough money to do this? Where do I go get my car fixed? Okay, what doctor I got to call for my appointment? How do I make an appointment? All these things start coming at us, and we're like, whoa, I'm not ready for this. Well, sometimes you don't really have a choice. Now, I know there are people who have to grow up fast, who have to face life very quickly before anyone's ready. Unfortunately, for those, it's unfortunate for those. But somehow they seem to um, bounce back just a little bit. They seem to find their way. And like most of us, we eventually find our way. Are we still walking around like toddlers trying to learn how to walk? Yeah, but we eventually find our way and find some balance. I want to read this quote, which I thought was really funny because this is my daily life. So it turns out that being an adult is mostly Googling how to do stuff. How many times a day? So, Mr. Best in the World, how
hmm
many times a day would you say you're like, Google, what is
Oh
Google?
Lord.
How do I?
Oh my gosh. Google is a definitely great resource. I've used it for gaming a lot of times. I've
Okay.
used it for cooking recipes. I've used it to how to fix something. I use it for like different things altogether. So yeah, I use it a lot for the weather. That's my main
Okay.
source of Google is the weather. I always want to know what the weather is. I don't know why. Most of the times I'm not even really leaving the house like that. But I like to know what the temperature is so I can prepare if I need a sweater or I don't need a sweater at all. If I need, sweatpants or shorts or whatever. I like to be completely in tune with the weather. Like maybe I
Okay.
need to be a meteorologist or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? And then I'm
Okay.
always telling people like, oh, this week we're gonna be hot this week or we're gonna be cold. And some people appreciate it, some people don't care. It is what it is, but I love to check the weather. That's me.
Oh my goodness. Alrighty. So let's just run through a few of those things. Now, we know as adults, those of us who are taking care of our own the best we can,
hmm
being an adult is expensive. The things that we do,
Mm.
trying to be good people, be responsible people, you know, find some sense of balance in our faith, our spirituality, taking care of our kid. Like being an adult encompasses so many things. So while I was looking at this topic, I looked up. When I tell you there are a gazillion checklist, adulting checklists, and it just depends on what you're looking for. Some are funny, some are, more serious. Okay, like setting goals and setting budgets and this and that. But there's a checklist, and it breaks it down: laundry, personal care, around the kitchen, outside the house, and then don't forget these things. And you think like, okay, I'm a grown up with opposable thumbs, and I have a fully functioning brain. Do I really need a list to tell me how to live my life? Yes, yes, yes. Sometimes you do.
hmm
Sometimes you do need a list to tell you how to live your life. So, Mr. Best in the World, you were creating an adulting checklist for, say, an 18-year-old because they're getting ready to graduate, maybe go to college or go into some other field of life. um, what would be one thing, and then to kind of break it down that you would put on an adult checklist? Can you hear me?
Oh, I'm struggle streaming.
Oh,
I'm struggle streaming. Sorry, fam. I'm struggle streaming.
okay.
Hold on. Let me come back in. I'm struggle streaming.
Okay. Well, while he's doing that, I'm just going to read a few things that's on this one particular checklist that I found. I think it's quite hilarious. Like in the kitchen, crack and scrambled egg. I know that we might think that's simple, but there are a lot of people who do not know how to cook eggs, let alone cook anything. So as you step into your adulthood, you might want to learn how to fix a few basic items because you might get hungry sometimes or need to feed yourself. You can't DoorDash everything because our money will run low because you got to pay rent, like gas and other utilities and things of that nature. So, yeah. Um, Tonight's conversation, I wanted to be more lighthearted and fun and engaging. And if anyone would love to come up and join the conversation, please let us know. We will be happy to have you on the panel because I know you don't want to just hear me gabbing the whole time. Um, so anyway, another thing, and this one is a little more serious, is money management. Of course, we don't think about this when we're younger. Our parents usually take care of everything. Or when we get a job, when we're in high school, we don't usually have to spend our money on household things. But once you step outside the threshold of your parents' home, your money is your money, and your bills and your things are your responsibility. So, all right, are we back, Mr. Best of the World?
Yes, yes. I'm sorry. I was struggle streaming. Sorry about that, family.
Okay, so,
My checklist, right? Okay.
mm-hmm.
My checklist is this. Okay. Credit,
Mm.
credit, hygiene, job.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Credit, hygiene, job. Can I add one more thing?
Go ahead, add as many as you want to your list.
Credit, hygiene, job. Um, credit, hygiene, job, and I would say, um, oh, okay. What was the last one? Healthy diet or
Mm.
healthy eating regimen. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Those. That would be my list.
Okay.
Housing is kind of on that spectrum too. But at 18, you ain't really getting no house by yourself unless you're rich. So,
Right.
like you don't have the money for that right now. Okay, you just got out of school. Like you ain't
Yeah.
affording nothing. Like and your credit is just starting, so nobody trusts you. You 18, so you have to kind of live with somebody. So yeah.
Yes, indeed. So, while you were coming back in, I was reading a few items on this one checklist that I found, and some of it
Mm-hmm.
is kind of funny, because like you should know how to do this, but just in case. Like there was one about cooking an egg. Many people don't know how to cook, and I was saying that you need to learn some cooking skills of some kind. Besides, you can't live off noodles and sandwiches and DoorDash. You just cannot. I mean, unless you got the long money, but then eventually
Mm-hmm.
your utilities are going to come knocking at the door like you didn't pay us because you ate out. So what's up?
Mm.
You know, so I would definitely say learn some cooking skills and just, invest in some cooking utensils. You don't have to have a whole chef's kitchen full of stuff because I have stuff at home. I promise you, I probably haven't used half of the stuff that I thought I needed. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I have some go-to stuff. Oh, one thing, fire extinguisher. We don't realize how important that is to have. And I know it seems
Mm.
mundane and insignificant, but you best have a fire extinguisher on hand and make sure it's up to date. Um, Other things, and you mentioned already, getting on some kind of health regimen. That is so true. I grew up in an era where was raised by older people, and they didn't have a lot of knowledge because there was no computers. We had encyclopedias, but we didn't always have the most up to date information available. But now, with information
Mm,
right at your fingertips, you know how to keep a better track on your health and
mhm,
do what's best for you. You can research and talk to doctors and things of that nature. So I didn't know much about health issues, which is why I had poor eating habits when I went off to college. Very poor eating habits. So yeah, definitely that as well. Um,
mhm,
okay, learn some basic, and I don't want to say car maintenance. At least learn where the oil stick is. Learn where the brake fluid is. If you're gonna have a car, learn where the oil, brake, and the coolant. Learn those basic things. Where they are and how to read the gauges on your dashboard. Yes.
mhm,
Um, so you see a light come on and you know how to go to the parts store and where to put the fluid, that kind of thing. But
mhm,
yeah. And I'm saying this from a female's perspective. There are just some things you should know whether you were raised by a father or not. You should have a working knowledge of your automobile and some of the ins and outs of it. Yeah. Let's see. And then the minor upkeep, your wiper blades and tires and brakes, and keep a notebook, a list of what you got done, when you got it done, and even where, so if something goes wrong, you know where to go back to. Just those things. So yeah. Um, and you mentioned credit. Credit is oh
mhm.
my god. We can't even stress how important credit is. So when you were younger, did your family talk to you about maintaining good credit?
Salute to M3
Hey, I'm three.
going on. Yeah, I wasn't taught that at all. You know what I mean? So I made a lot of mistakes, a lot of mistakes. So
Oh yes.
what I mean, that's definitely important. I was just told go in and get your own, and when you tell somebody young go and get their own, and you start stripping certain privileges from them, then yeah, they're gonna feel away. So that's what I did, but I made some terrible mistakes. You know what I mean, when I was younger, and good thing I was able to understand what I was doing, rebound from them, and grow. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because if not, it would have been all bad for you, boy. Would have been all
Yes.
bad for me.
Um, I am still recovering from my mistakes. Got to
Mm,
college, got a couple credit cards, didn't really have a job, and then got a low wage job and wasn't making the payments on time, so I fell into the cycle because my family did not have a good relationship with money. So they were able to teach me what I needed to know to have a good
mm,
relationship with money and credit. So I fell into that cycle, unfortunately. So now I try to talk to my son about developing a relationship with money and credit. So I think he's set up on a good path, much better than I was. So we're just praying
mm.
and hoping that he is the leader of this pack in regards to money. So we shall see. We shall see. And so, what do you feel about teenagers being taught these life skills, though? Because I'm looking at a list. Like I said, I found a gazillion list, and I just
Mhm,
picked it. Did picked a few things here and there, like how to do laundry, buy
mm,
groceries, keeping your house organized. You can't just take your shoes and clothes off where you want and think someone else is going to pick it up. Because mom and daddy used to do it, but now you're in your own place. It's going to be there till you pick it up.
mhm,
So, let's see. Oh, be a self starter. Mom and daddy's not going to come wake you up at, okay, time to get up for school. It's like, okay, set your alarm. Don't hit snooze unless you set your alarm it several moments in advance, so you can hit snooze maybe twice, whatever the case
mhm,
may be.
mhm,
But be willing to get up and do something without someone always nudging you to do it.
mm.
Yes. Um, Another thing, how to cope with the setback or a failure, because those are going to happen in life. So what are your thoughts on some of these?
I think
Well,
that Oh, I'm sorry.
no, when it comes to teenagers learning life skills.
Well, those things are definitely important. Like, I mean, because as a teenager, like, you really just trying to figure a lot of things out. I mean, you don't really know certain things, and you're just trying to, get your bearings. So, I think those things are very, very essential and very important. Um, I mean, so I mean, but also I think a lot of times, with our people, we're not patient with our kids, and we try to force them to be certain things or force them to be
Mm.
a certain way. And it's like,
Um,
no, you gotta meet them where they're at. You know what I'm saying? Because they may not know certain skills. You know what I'm saying? So if they don't know certain skills, what I mean, you try to force it upon them. Yeah, it may not turn out the way that you want to turn out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so we have to be mindful that sometimes our kids are not where we want them to be, but they're at where they're at, and we have to be fine with that. We have to say, okay, this is where they at. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? And even though I feel like they should be X, Y, and Z, what I mean, I mean, they may be somewhere else. Really quick, want to give a shout out to AR, him versus her solution. Shout out to everyone. Dope stream.
Hi.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. You can definitely come up. I will put the link in the chat. You know. So yeah, that's a really big thing. You know what I mean? That been listening while cooking. Okay. Get your cook on, bro. Get your cook on. You know what I'm saying? I think that's essential. Like, we gotta meet the kids where they're at, man. Like, what I mean? You may want your kid to know, a set of skills, but they may only be good at certain things, that they may know how to do certain things. But I think basic things they can definitely try to grasp or try to get a hold of. And then I think one thing for a teenager that a lot of parents don't do, especially our people, is that we don't talk to our kids about what their passion is or what they're gonna actually do in their life.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we not those are conversations not happening. We're not saying, okay, all right, what do you love to do? You
Okay.
know what I mean? What do you love to do? What you gonna do? Once you get out in that world. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying kick them out the house like that. I ain't saying don't do it like that. But just ask them, like, what you want to do with your life. Like, you know what I'm saying? What are you passionate about? Do you want to do what I'm doing? You know what I mean? Do you want to do something else? Who are you inspired by? What is your passion? What are you interested in? And then from there, you kind of know what the kid wants to do. So yeah.
Hmm. Um, I
Also, want
found.
to give a shout out to, I'm sorry, Terry Taylor. He
Hey.
said a lot of black parents rush the process of adulthood. Yep. Expecting to be
Yeah.
ready for the world as soon as they turn 18 to 21. That is true.
Yes,
That is
sir.
true.
Shout out to my friend Dr. T up in Ohio working on that PhD.
All right, all right. Congrats on that. Congrats on that. Let's go.
Another thing that we don't really teach our children, or we don't get taught a lot, is relationship management, not just intimate, but
Mm,
interpersonal relationships. And so
mm.
when our children grow up or get out of our house, they don't know how to talk to people. They don't know
True.
how to engage. They don't know how to have a basic, simple, intelligent, respectful conversation. You know, it was
Mm,
like my mom didn't tell me that. My dad didn't. Like, I made it my mission to teach my son yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. And I tried to start it within the home. And then also yes and no versus yeah, nah. And I would correct him on every turn. And he was like, I know what to say. Why I gotta say it to you? Hold on, partner.
mm,
It's like,
mm,
ooh, I need you to be in practice on what to say. Then why wouldn't you want to respect me as your parent? But anyway, I pick and chose my battles some days. But we
mm.
don't oftentimes teach our children enough how to talk on the phone. They answer the phone like, yeah, what's up? That's not how you answer the phone. What if you're
Mm,
looking for a job? You don't say, yeah, what's up to a potential employer.
mhm.
Um, do you feel that, like, I don't know your family dynamics, like how you grew up, and You can share as much as you want. Um, do you feel you were taught some of these things on how to engage with the general public, as you got up in age?
No, I wasn't. But the thing that helped me was the fact that education was really, a big part of my life. It was something that was reinforced in my childhood. You know what I mean? And because I was well educated, I was able to be around, teachers and scholars who taught me how to speak, who taught me how to be formal, who taught me how to basically be, in a room full of people who weren't from the hood or weren't from my block. You know what I mean? So that's, they taught me how to be
Okay.
in a corporate setting. They taught me how to be amongst different cultures and people. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was me,
Oh,
going to a debate camp at the University of Vermont, when I was a teenager. You know what I mean? Because I did debate. So that experience kind of taught me to be out of my element. You know what I mean? To be out of just being in a poverty stricken neighborhood. It taught me how to shout out to Brownsville. It showed me how to do something different. You know what I'm
okay.
saying? And I think those tools helped me, but also I had to learn by trial and error. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So of course I had to hit my head on the pavement a couple of times and just learn from scratch. I have to give a shout out to a few more people. I seen y'all check in.
Okay.
You know, real talk with Mimsy Limbs. Hey Mimsy, what's going on?
Hi, man.
Hey, peace, y'all. As always, she says, bada bing, hit that like button. Yeah, like and subscribe, y'all. Like and subscribe and hit that bell that says all. Have somebody else, Brianna Cusick. Hopefully, I'm saying your name right.
Hey,
She says,
Bree.
hey, y'all. Watching from Missouri. Loving the earrings, QB. Hey,
Thank you,
okay.
girl.
You know what I'm
That's my
saying?
friend Bree. She
Shout
feeds
out to
into
Bree.
she feeds into my obsession of bees. So thank you, girl.
Cool, cool, cool.
Uh, okay, so another thing that I'm seeing on a lot of these lists is how to navigate. I know this may seem This may seem, I don't know what it may seem to you. Okay, so again, I hate to keep going back in my day, but back in my day,
Hmm.
we didn't have GPS systems. Whether it was the little things you put on your dash. I'm sorry.
No, you good.
Yeah, like the first little electronic navigation, like those little tom toms or something,
Hmm.
whatever they were. It was
Hmm.
strictly a navigation system. Okay,
Hmm.
before that, all we had were maps. you know,
Mm.
so you just kind of had to know where you were going in essence, or get directions from somebody who's been there, done that, whatever.
Mm.
Um, so teaching our children how to get around places without GPS. I'm sorry, can you take over?
Yeah, I can take over. Yeah, I think traveling and knowing how to travel and knowing different things, knowing how to do different things, you know what I'm saying, is essential. You know what I'm saying? You kind of got to know how to move around, where to move around, and, how to get around. So, back in the days, we used to have the maps. I actually seen my grandfather pull out a map, you know what I mean, which was, I guess, it's weird back, from now. But at the end of the day, sometimes that's necessary. You know what I mean? I got to give, I'm about to bring QB back in. When she's ready, she'll give me a thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? Before I bring her in, I just want to give a shout out to Big Rig Slaps. Hey, Big Rig, what's up, man? He said, shout out to the panel people in chat. Big Rig Slaps in the building. Salute. Salute to Big Rig. And then he mentioned the Tom Tom. He said, Tom Tom, dang, I remember that. Yeah, them Tom Toms was official. Yeah. So you're muted, QB.
Okay, so I'm not crazy. Like sometimes I think my mind be having little mental,
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so that was a thing. Okay. I'm not crazy. Oh my goodness. Okay. Another thing that I feel like we don't teach our children enough of is how to make their own appointments, how to make certain phone calls, how to handle certain business. They should not be out here trying to navigate those waters, and they need to know their health insurance information. I don't know how most people's insurance plans work, but if you get some type of state insurance after the child turns 18, the parents can no longer make those phone calls to get information for them. So we need to teach our kids how to make phone calls, how to handle business, how to talk on the phone, period. Let's just say that, how to talk on the phone, how to handle business. So I am curious to hear from y'all. Like, what are some things your parents did and did not teach you that you wish? What are some of those things that once you signed the adult contract, all this stuff was in the fine print? Um, like, dang, I wish I had read all. Because you know how many times we don't read the fine print on all these contracts? I was like, oh, just a standard. No, there's nothing standard. We just start reading the fine print, and I feel like if we had all read the fine print on what adulthood was gonna be like, we'd probably be like, nope, I ain't ready. I ain't doing it. I ain't going. We just not going. Oh my goodness. Alrighty, so let's go to the comments and see what people are talking about. Um, okay, so
Rihanna says again, Mimsy Limbs, I'm in Missouri, around around Mobley area. How about you? Okay, so I guess they're in the Missouri area. Shout out to Missouri. Shout out to Missouri.
okay,
Whoever wants to come up, who's in the chat, you can definitely come up. The link is pinned.
we definitely would
Also,
love to,
well, it's in the chat. You know,
we definitely love to have y'all up here and
no,
share.
definitely.
What were some things? Now I know that we as adults make fun of some of the things that we have to do, on a regular basis. Like, dang, I gotta go to the grocery store. Dang, I gotta get gas. And then we start debating, do I get gas when I get off work? Or do I get up extra in the morning and get gas in the morning so I won't be late for work? Like, these are these are real decisions that we make. Um, we look in the refrigerator like, can I drink off this milk one more day? um, like,
Oh wow, spoiled milk? What?
not really spoiled, but it's like it's at its expiration date.
Okay, is it spoiled or not spoiled? Because right now I'm kind of confused.
Not spoiled, but
Mm,
you know how you smell milk and it's like the difference when it's on its way out versus when it's really fresh.
that's danger time. That is
Yeah,
danger time for real.
I
Mm-mm.
can't drink milk anymore, so it really makes no difference to
Yeah,
me.
me neither. I can't drink it
So
no more either. I'm right with you.
y'all enter at your own risk.
Literally,
And
literally.
okay, and now let's talk about when you have children, the things that adulting requires. I have a child. At the time, those times when he was little, it's like now it's somebody else that I got to be responsible for. I got to feed somebody else beside myself. Like, I might can get away with eating cereal for dinner. This little person want more than cereal for dinner. You can't
Hmm.
feed them chicken nuggets every day unless that's just what they want to eat. But children need a more full balanced meal. Children need baths every day. They need new clothes. They can't wear the same clothes. Anyway,
Hmm.
adulting just keeps expanding and expounding, and it's like, oh my gosh, do I ever catch a break? No, no, you do not catch a
No,
break.
no.
I'm sorry, you just don't catch a break. I mean, unless you
Mm.
marry a millionaire and you don't have to do anything else. But hey, that how many of us are marrying millionaires or becoming
That's
millionaires?
a long shot, as they say. Literally a long shot. It's like hitting the lottery.
And then if you become a millionaire, well, you still got to do some kind of level of work to maintain that status. So
Hmm.
anywho, so Mr. Best, do you see yourself having children? Do you have children, or do you see yourself having children?
That's a really, I don't know, type of thing.
Okay,
I know what my cap is though. My cap is 45, so I got 7 years, I think, 7 to
okay,
8 years. So that's my cap. So if it
okay.
ain't happening, if it ain't by 45, it ain't happening. So
I feel you on that.
listen. I'm not trying to be no old man with
I don't blame
no
you.
baby. No. We ain't
I,
gonna both need a walker. You ain't gonna be changing both of our diapers. It's not happening. You know what
I
I'm
do not
saying?
blame do not blame you at
Mm-mm.
all.
So forget about that.
Oh my goodness. Um, Another thing, um, setting routines. Like, sometimes when you're a kid, you can just kind of go and come as you please. Now, those that are in sports, of course, they have those schedules after school. I have this, and this. As an adult, it almost gets, I hate to say, worse because you have
Mm.
several things you have to do, several things you want to do, and then you have to learn how to prioritize all of it. What's important, what's vital, or what's just I can do it if I can do it or not. I mean, so there's so many aspects um to adulthood that we get caught up. Like I said, the fine print of that contract of
Mm.
adulthood, the things we don't read, the things we're not prepared for, and they can come at you fast and hard. Ooh, child, and you are not
Yep.
ever prepared. Now, of course, we could tell teenagers up to 21, we can give them all the books in the world. We can give them all the checklist. But there are just some things in life you just have to experience for yourself. Everyone's experience is going to be totally different. Everyone's reactions are going to be totally different. So, yeah, unfortunately, there are just some things you just have to learn on the fly. And sorry, but life doesn't apologize for that. So,
Mm.
yeah. Um, I want to read another quote that I found. This one is really quite hilarious. It says, "Adulting is soup, and I'm a fork." I promise you, it feels like that at times. I am trying to eat soup with a fork, you know. But somehow we get there. Do you have any thoughts you would like to add in, Mr. Best? I knew this wasn't going to be a super long topic. I just wanted to give people some high points and, you know, would love to hear what other people think. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Oh, he dropped out again. Okay. Well, we're definitely going to make this a shorter show for tonight, but I want to definitely say thank you to everyone who is tuning in into the live chat. And Bree says, "Nope, gotta go. Can't do Spider." I feel you on that. Excuse me. All right, Mr. Best,
Mhm.
you back with us?
Yeah, struggle streaming.
Okay, well, we're not gonna
California is giving me some hard times, but it's all good. I'm here.
we're not gonna make this too long tonight. Just
Okay.
wanted to come in and make do since we missed last week. I apologize, you all. I was not feeling good. And just thank you for your grace, Mister Best in the World.
Oh no,
Um,
hang out with me. And let me tell you
giving me
something. QB must have not really been feeling good because for her not to stream, she must not have been feeling good.
look.
She gonna
It
be
was
on the stream. Let me tell you something. Come hella hot water, she gonna be on the stream. You best believe it.
I might not have makeup on or hair done, but we're gonna be here. But last week
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't even hold my head up. But anyway, that's either here nor there. So before we go, I want to do just read off this quick. It's called "We're Adulting Bingo." Now I know this may sound corny and whatever, but when you look at it from a real perspective, how many times in our adult lives do we, battle with these things? So put on pants. Look,
Oh Lord. Literally? This literally
there
or figuratively?
figures literally.
Okay.
No, literally.
Oh
There are
wow.
days. How many? Oh, I don't know for men, but women can attest to this. When you have a Zoom call, you get dressed from here up. You Nobody knows what's going on down yonder. or there,
Lord have mercy.
or there may be it may be your day off, and you're gonna t-shirt and underwear it all day. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a woman thing. Yeah, I can't attest to that
Okay.
one.
All right. The next one is cleaned. Anything.
Mm.
Wipe the counter, clean the toilet, wash the dish, just clean.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Sometimes yes, sometimes I'll see you tomorrow. Nope. Yeah. All right. For those that are married or in committed relationships, didn't murder your spouse.
Oh wow.
And I can say when I
Wow.
was married, there are days I was like, I want to just put my hands around his neck. you know, I want to stab him, but you can't
What
kill
in
him.
the?
I mean, come on. If you ever been in a relationship and you spend any amount of time in close proximity with someone,
I ain't
and
trying to kill nobody though.
I mean, okay, not
What is
just
this, War of the Roses? I mean, I don't know if you ever seen that movie. You ever seen the movie War of the Roses?
I've heard
Where the
about it.
spouses try to kill each other at the end,
I mean,
and
I don't want to
they both
physically.
was hanging off the chandelier and they both fell down. I think they both died at the end.
Oh
I'm not
Lord,
really sure, but
I'm
it's
trying to
called War of
find
the
it.
Roses or something like that. Yeah, it's an old movie, very very old.
But it's like you just want to throw a pillow at them and like, why are they breathing? just
Oh damn!
things that get on your nerve. Like, why are they breathing in my direction? Or just
Jeez, what in the world?
okay, me. I know men have moments where they're like, why is she talking so much? Did she just tell me that story yesterday? Why is she on the phone again with that
No,
same?
it's not. It's not the fact that we don't want you to talk. No, it's not the fact that we don't want you to talk. No, it's not the fact that we don't want you to talk. It's not that. I'm struggle streaming. Oh man, not again. Hold on, I'll be
Oh
back.
no. Okay, we're gonna wait on him to come back. Um, Look, for those that are married, I'm not saying you just want to physically kill your spouse and end up in prison, Shawshank. However, you have your moments where you get frustrated with each other. It's not roses and rainbows every single day of your marriage. It's not. It's just not. Anywho, but that's on the bingo card, and so yeah, there are times I'm sure somebody has thought about it. Um, my marriage stories are going to just remain untold right now. I've told enough of them on my podcast platform, so that's where they're going to stay. If you want to hear, go to the Key Spot podcast on Anchor, Spotify, or Google, and check them out. I'm trying to wait for him to come back, but because I would love to hear his thoughts on this next one. And I'll just go ahead and read it. It says, "Took a shower." Now, this probably goes for more women than men, especially if you have children. Now, for the women who say, I take a shower every day, I can manage my kids, and blah, blah, baby, God bless you. No judgment to you. No. But for those of us who, like, I'm just happy I survived the day. Um, Whether you were in a depressed mood, whether your children got on your nerves, whether you just had a whatever day and you just didn't make it to the shower, that happens sometimes. so, yeah. The next one is got out of bed. I know I can't be the only one who has had a day in bed and said, I'm just not today. I'm just not. I give up on the day. I'm not doing any work. Don't answer. Don't call me. I'm not answering. Don't email. Don't text. Don't nothing because I'm just not. Today is not your day or mine, and I'm just not. All right. Sent a text. I guess that's send a text versus calling, or at least reply to somebody. So you can take it how you want it on that one. Um, Brush your teeth. Oh, child, complete the fifth on that one. I have had moments where I did not brush my teeth in a day, uh, and I don't feel guilty. Not now, anyway, about it. I don't quite remember the circumstances, but yeah, I don't feel guilty. Um, didn't spend money on Amazon. Well, not today, anyway. Amazon has got a lot of money, and this is definitely an updated list because Amazon is now the thing to do with a place to buy stuff from. All right, you back with us?
Oh, I got some in the back. I'm sorry. I got some in.
Okay.
Where's my manners? I'm sorry. Struggle stream. You got to go away. All right, go away, struggle streaming.
Who is it?
Wait, oh, I know this person. Oh, okay. Hey, and she made it on time too. I'm glad she's here. Gotta bring in, you know what I'm saying, the person who invented the wheel of pressure. All right, gotta bring in Lady Saida. What's going on, Saida? Good to see you.
Hello. Hi,
Hi.
good evening.
What's
Hi.
going
How are
on?
This
you
is a
doing?
great topic you guys got going on here. I love
Have
it.
you been
Yeah,
able to
yeah.
listen in some?
Yep, I was here for a little bit. Yes.
Okay. Well, I want to go back to a few squares while
Hold on,
we still.
I gotta make my point, QB, because I was on a tangent about
Oh
how
yeah.
men do want y'all to speak. Okay, it's not the fact that we don't want women to talk. Okay, it's just the fact that when you talk, just please make it something that's important.
Okay.
If it's not important or it can wait, and you know that I'm in the midst of doing something that's actually important, or maybe I'm doing something that's fun, or watching the game or whatever, can it just wait? Like, let me have my moment real quick. I'm gonna get to it. Like, I'm gonna do it. Like, because I've done it all the time. I'm gonna get it done. I'm not gonna leave you hanging. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna not do this or not take out the garbage or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the fact of right now is not a good time. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? Right now is not a good time to talk.
All right.
Am I still muted?
Uh,
Oh no.
all
I'm
right.
back.
So
I'm
I'm gonna
back.
go
Good,
back.
good. It's just that right now is not a good time to talk. That's the only thing that men feel. We just feel at
Okay.
that moment we can't talk right now. So
All righty. So I'm gonna go back to a few squares that I've already read. Took a
mhm.
shower, and I said this one may apply more to women than men. I don't know, and especially women who have children. Some
What?
days, some days you are lucky to take a shower. I mean, it just depends on what you got to do in your day. Once you got to get done around the house, you unfortunately come last, and maybe Saida can share her insight on this. We're adulting bingo.
No,
Yeah,
you got to take
sure.
a shower. Go ahead, Saida.
Yeah, definitely, you gotta have to. But I think that is about time management. If you really know how to, manage your own timing, that definitely will help you. For example, I never had. Well, I'm now a single mother, but when my daughter was born, I was living with her dad. We didn't live together for too long, only probably like a year after the baby was born. She's now 9. So it's been a long time since we
Mm.
separated. But during that time, I didn't have no one. My mom doesn't live in the country. My grandma was not like close or didn't live close to me, so literally didn't have no one to help me out with the baby stuff. Like you always have like a friend or your mom, someone coming to visit you to help you, or either you pay somebody. I didn't, and I had a C-section, so I had to deal with all that myself. And one of the things that of the reasons why me and her dad separated is because he has the machista mentality that a woman should be doing everything by herself, and he was just existing. So I had to, pretty much do it and prove that I could do it without him. Pretty much he was just teaching me to be without him, and I had to do it myself. Because it's like, oh, even if I say I need you as a man, I need your help, he will be like, no, you don't. You can do it yourself. So he was doing that, and it's funny because some men is like, oh, women should need men, and yes, we need you, but when we ask for help, you don't want to. So it's
Mhm.
contradicting. And I was asking, like, sometimes to hold the baby while I was going to take showers. So I'm glad that I was able to create a schedule for my kid. Since she was a newborn, she would go to bed early. I put her to bed, and I knew her schedule, so I would pretty much shower when she was sleeping in the morning, like early in the morning before she wakes up. I will do those things, my personal stuff, and then I will handle, my timing with her. So that's what I did, and it worked for me back then. But that doesn't mean that it was not easy at all, because it wasn't.
Alrighty.
Mm.
All right. So the next bingo square is God
Hold on one,
eyes.
hold on
Oh.
1 second, QB. I just wanted to acknowledge Sean's comment
Oh.
real quick. And he was talking about the women talking. He said it ain't even got to be important. Just cut out some of the useless details, like what color the person's shirt was and what flavor gum they were chewing, because you can smell peach and you love it.
Look, some of the details are important. So,
And I'm gonna just speak to men's hygiene real quick before we move on. Listen, men, do your research, okay? Do your research. Women always do their research, okay? They know what deodorant they need to use. They know what soap they need to use. They know, what hair texture they need. All that. As men, you gotta do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Do your research. You know what I'm saying? Know what soap you should use. Know different things you should use, and just know how your hygiene works for you. You gotta know that. So yeah, go ahead, QB. I'm sorry.
All right. The next one is got out of bed. Now remember, this is adulting. Whether you got kids, don't have kids, you got life is happening. You
Mm-hmm.
got out of bed today, or whatever day. So I'm, and I said that there are times where I feel like today was not my day, your day, anybody's day, and don't call, text, or email me
Oh
because
wow.
I'm not. I am not. I'm not. So
So do you have times you just like to be alone, QB?
oh
Like you
yes,
just
God
you just
yes,
like, yo, don't bother me.
yes.
But where
That
does
Wake
that
time
up.
is
come from
explore
though?
is important. That alone time is extremely needed and important.
Yes, I
Mm.
will stay in bed with my Netflix. I will not do any work related anything. I will go to the bathroom and go get a snack and get back in the bed versus sitting on the couch. Yes,
Mm.
yes. But that's just me.
Okay? So are these days of self reflection? That's what I want to ask.
I mean, not necessarily. It's a day of I'm not doing anything important. Not simple as that. Now, of
That's
course,
got that's got to be a slogan that we got to use. Not doing anything important. I like that.
when my son was younger and at home,
Mm-hmm.
of course things were different. But once
Mm-hmm.
he got out of the house, yeah, I had a
Mm.
little more luxury to do that. And then when I started working from home full time, I really had the luxury to do that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Saida, did you want to give your perspective on that on having a long time?
Yeah. I think it's extremely important. We all need that time. It's healthy as well, not just important, but healthy. Even when you have kids, like you need a break from your own kids. You need to disconnect, from them to reconnect with them. They depend on you 24/7, yes, but while they go to one of the extracurricular classes, that doesn't mean that they are unattended. It's just that you need that separation, and you know it is just healthy. Why? Because they come back to you, and then you also have some time to rest, to do your own thing. Like for example, if I wanted to get a pedicure or manicure, what if it's just simple as that? Or if I want to, have a bath, or I don't know, you name it, massage, whatever. It's just important time, healthy, and it shouldn't be a problem with no one having, like, men say, oh, I want my men cave, right? Like their room with their games, or even like if it's like a small bar for them in the house where they can just watch sports. So if the men can have that, why women cannot have their own space
That
and
sounds like
sanctuary
paradise.
as well? It's just that's when we say we want to be equal, because we have the equal rights. So that's what I'm saying. That's equality right there. If you can have your own time, I can have my own time. This is not about feminism or anything like that. Like, I want to do what you do or things like that. No, but if you can have your own space for your mental health, don't you think that I also need that? Just because you think that my job is not as hard as yours? Well, that's totally different, because if we were, inverting the roles, or you were doing what I do and then I was doing what you do, you probably wouldn't handle it the same way. So, that's it. It's just needed.
Okay.
Mm.
So, Mr. M3,
Want to
have
give a
you?
quick shout out to Lady Sophia.
Hey,
Just give a quick shout out to Lady Sophia real quick. Hey Sophia, good to see you. You know what I
hey.
mean? Oh, what was your question for me, QB? I'm sorry. Didn't mean to be
So,
rude. I'm sorry.
as an adult, no matter what age range, even though this bingo says check off a square if you did these things in the last 24 hours, we're just going to not consider the last 24 hours because, of course,
Mm-hmm.
most of these things we've done. But um,
Mm-hmm.
at some point in your life as an adult, was there ever a moment where you didn't want to get out of bed? You just weren't having a great day, and you just like, I
Whew.
don't want to face the world today.
Oh wow. I've had those days. Yes, I have. And I think a lot of it came from either one, me losing like family members or people I cared about. So I would be like severely depressed and I wouldn't want to do nothing. Okay, I think that's normal. I think most people
Hmm.
feel that way. If you lose somebody that you really love, you kind of want to be by yourself. Sometime when love life choices went bad, I kind of had those days too. I ain't even gonna lie. You know what I mean? Where I made the bad choice, or I got dumped, or she ain't show up on a date, or whatever.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Outside of that, um, I think when I did have those days outside of that, I think it was because I just didn't realize, um, I didn't realize my own potential. I didn't realize who I really was. So I would just get like super depressed, and I just wanted to be by myself and be alone. You know. And when I started to realize who I was and the energy that I had and who I needed to be, you know, getting out of the bed was a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have to get out of bed. There's a lot of people who wanted to get out of bed, but they didn't. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or they couldn't. So yeah, you know what I mean. And once I realized that, it changed my whole perspective. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Now this next square really doesn't apply. I'm just gonna read it and we can move on from it. It says sent a text. I think it's fair to say we've all sent a text. It's all points of our life. We mostly communicate via text versus phone calls now. So that's just kind of how life is at times. Um, the next one is brush your teeth. Have you ever had a moment where you didn't get to brush your teeth in a day? Anybody?
At
You muted
least,
Saida. Go ahead.
I mean, minimum is 3 times a day. Like that's like the average. But some people don't even do it one time. So
I mean, and I can't speak for everybody else, and I know it's something that we should put in our day. Um, yeah, but there may be times there are people who can't. Um, I don't want to get to all the details, but there may be times when it's not possible. Now, if you just simply don't do it by choice and you've gone in the bathroom several times a day, then I might want to question you.
yeah, no, because I have to say I always carry a toothbrush in my purse, and I have a
Really?
toothbrush in my, yes, and I have a toothbrush in my lunch bag.
Okay.
So when I go to the office, I always after lunch I go to the bathroom and brush my teeth right after I eat. But I don't see many people doing that. Like I'm literally the only one person that does it. Or, like I've seen 2, 3 people every now and then randomly, probably because we have lunch at different timing, but it's not as common. Like people don't do that. And, you're supposed to do it like 3 times a day. Like I tell my daughter, hey, brush your teeth before you go to bed. Some people just literally don't do it.
Yeah.
But it's not because you don't have time or you cannot. Even if you're at the mall or if you're whatever, you eat, you brush your teeth.
At the
Does it take 2 minutes?
mall? Wow, I've never
Okay.
heard of that before.
Who's gonna see you? Who knows you there? You go to the bathroom. You go to the bathroom and you do it there. I don't care who sees me. I don't care what they say. It's not their teeth. It's my teeth.
Okay. I'm going to just read through
Saida's
these.
is serious about her teeth health, yo. She's very serious.
We all should take dental health very seriously because it can lead to other health. It's been linked to other health issues when your gums and teeth are not healthy. That's
Hmm.
definitely another discussion that we need to have at some point. So there's like three more rows. I'm just gonna read these, and then y'all can
Hmm.
pick which ones y'all want to talk about. Maybe as it relates to you.
Hmm.
Okay, so didn't spend money on Amazon. Didn't fall
That's
asleep
not
on
me. I always spend money on Amazon. Go ahead.
didn't fall asleep on the couch. Um,
That ain't me either. I fall asleep on the couch too. Go ahead.
talk to another adult, like especially those of us who have children, we can understand this one. more so than some. We end up talking to our children more than we talk to other adults. um, you actually fed your kids, and
Oh
not just,
Lord.
you'll be surprised at what some parents don't do. And the
Mm.
children have to go to the refrigerator for themselves, and that's another story.
Whole nother story.
um, Went to bed before midnight. That has never been my story. um,
Yeah,
Ate
me neither.
real food, not just noodles and chips and junk. You ate some real food in a day. Stepped outside and got some vitamin D in the rare form. um, didn't drink before 5 p.m.
Mm.
Woke up before 10 a.m.
Okay.
Brushed your hair. We're gonna talk
Mm-hmm.
about the times. Oh, mm-mm. Um, drank. Yeah, we're gonna talk about them not combing my hair situations.
hmm
Drink water. I know people who live on Mountain Dew and Dr. Pepper, literally, and coffee.
Yes. Yeah, that sounds
Uh,
good.
there you go. Did anything productive, like just anything.
hmm
Watched less than 8 hours of Netflix. I can attest to that. Um,
Yeah, I don't do
Eight
that.
hours, less than 8 hours.
I've never watched eight
This is
hours of
shocking to
Netflix.
me. 8 hours of Netflix. That less than 8 hours. I should say less than two.
I could say less than an hour
Okay.
Less than two. If you and watching 2 hours is a long time, but imagine 8 hours is what you sleep. After that,
Yeah.
you have 16 hours. And out of those hours, you work how many? Eight? Seven?
mm.
So the rest of the time, what are you doing? Just watching Netflix? You don't do dishes, you don't work out, you don't read, wow, no. I
Yeah.
can't. I haven't watched Netflix like in 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
I haven't watched Netflix in like probably like over a year, honestly.
Oh my God.
I don't watch TV that often, to be honest. Only on the weekends, maybe sometimes, but
Okay. Alrighty. You know what day it is. There are times I don't.
Oh, that's one right there. Especially when you're working at a job you hate, you like, man, what day is it today? Please, Lord.
um, you kept your pet alive for those who have pets. You took it on a walk and you fed and gave it some water. You did something creative and you washed your hands. Now that one is a no. Is an air. We're not letting nobody slide on that one about washing your hands. Everybody wash your.
Oh my gosh. When I used to work in like different corporate settings, you would not, oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe the people would not wash their hands. They
In the
would not wash
bathroom.
their hands. Yeah, it was crazy. And they would be in there, knocking it down. You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah, gas sounds and all. And they would just come out like everything was normal. And they would just walk right back to the office. I'm like, thank God I don't work with you because, yeah, we would have a problem.
Oh my God. All right. So, Saida, I don't know how much of the previous conversation you heard, but again, we're just talking about adulting the fine print, the things that we often don't read when we sign that contract unwittingly into adulthood. Um, that's those fine print things that catch us off guard and take us, for a ride. And here we are trying to handle things on our own. And what are some things as we wrap up? What would you like to, what are some of your life experiences you would like to add to say, okay, I wish I had known before I could become an adult, or whatever the case may be.
yeah, I think we. Thank you for allowing me this space.
Oh, you're welcome.
I think we all go through this, unless, and probably you might have some of them figure it out, but then some other ones might not. For example, first of all, I would say nobody tells you to take care of your health and body. But I have to say that I cannot say that my dad didn't tell me,
Okay.
because he used to say, he will always run. He, so like right now he's 55, and he still goes for jog every night. Like after work, he goes
Okay.
to run every night. So I see him, like it's not like he was not doing anything or like giving the example out.
Okay.
So taking care of your health and body is something that not a lot of people do. Nobody tells you. Get your finances in order. Like, this includes taxes, budgeting,
Mm-hmm.
credit scores in case of the US, right? But I also made the mistakes back in the days when I took a credit card, and then I went crazy with it, right? It took me a long time to, get financial stable, or at least pay
Yes.
my debt. Organization with time
Yes, ma'am.
management is just a huge thing. I go to the gym, well, right now I have to say, like, for the last month and a half I have not been able to, but I go to the gym at 4:30 a.m. Then I work, and I'm a single mom, so I have to, take care of my daughter after my shift. And pretty much my week is busy, and especially if I'm going to the gym. So that makes me go to bed early. So
Okay.
by 9, I'm disconnecting myself. Uh, Taking ownership of what you do in life, or take
Mm.
accountability. That's also something that nobody tells you, like apologizing for something you did, and take not pointing at others, like, hey, I made this mistake. For example, um I was getting into a relationship, and I remember my dad telling me, you're going too fast.
Okay.
And he said it, so I cannot say he didn't, so yes. And then I cannot blame no one else because I didn't listen to that advice. Asking for help, nobody tells you that it's okay to ask for help. It is okay to ask for an advice. Go to an elderly person and say, hey, I'm going through this right now, what do you think I could do? Or, hey, it's okay. um, how to be a good friend.
Mm.
How to be a good friend is important, because when you're adult, it's harder to find friends. It's harder to find really good people that is right next to you. You want
Mm-hmm.
that people that supports you, not envy, or they're jealous of you, and you don't want to be that person for these people as well. You don't want to be jealous of them. I would say one important is that cleaning up after yourself,
Yeah.
like doing things for you, not like, as a man, don't expect that the woman will be doing everything for you. But if you have been taught from a young age, like, to put your socks in the basket, you will not be having the nagging of, why aren't you doing this? Because you're helping each other. You want to avoid the
Mm,
nagging, then put the socks in the basket. That's your responsibility, but you never did it because you always had your mom doing it for you. So what does that mean? That you need someone replacing your mother. You're depending on someone. You're not fully dependent. So that's a contradiction for me. Um, Maybe taking care of a pet, because you mentioned a pet as
Mm.
well, and that keeps you responsible. Keeping something alive, like a plant, a pet, I don't know, I think that will keep you. And the last but not least,
mm,
make time for fun.
Okay.
It's
mm,
adulting is not fully, it's not bad. And adulting or fun is not always drinking, smoking, and doing something that you're,
Yes.
or sex, even sex, because that's not everything. So for me, that's what it is.
All right. Thank
Yeah.
you. And Mr. M3, your final thoughts.
I'm not in three. I'm not in
I
three of best
mean,
in the world.
shoot, this the best
But
thing
we but
going.
we we are one of
Please
the
forgive
same though. You
me.
know what I mean? It's one. You know what I'm saying? One of the same.
Please
Be
forgive
him,
me.
be me. It's all good. No. I would say for me, I think adulting has to be, as Saida was saying, a combination of everything. Has to be a combination of you kind of knowing, of you knowing how to be balanced, basically. Because sometimes, you can't always just work yourself to death, right? You need to take a break, and
Mhm.
sometimes you can't always have fun. It's having that perfect balance. You know what I'm saying? So, and I guess that's why happy hours are so popular. Because you've been working, you done did that 40, 50, 60 hours. You're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
Friday here, let's get it going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is my time to chill out. And that was one of the things I used to really do a lot, was happy hour. Kind of been relaxing from that because it's not the most healthiest lifestyle. You know what I mean? Drinking every weekend. So
Hmm.
yeah, I've had to relax from that. But when I was in a rat race full time, oh, most definitely, I took advantage of my happy hours. You best believe. I look forward to them. So I think that as an adult, we just got to know when to be balanced. You know what I'm saying? Yes, the mall has a sale, but that don't mean you need to be at that sale. Maybe
Yeah.
you need to put your money away, okay, and save it for a rainy day or for to fix your car or fix different things in your home
Yes.
or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I just think that we just got to have a balance, but also you got to know when to have fun too. I think as adults sometimes we forget the I don't want to say the child in us. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Or what, whatever. I'll just say it. The child in us. We
Yes.
forget to have fun. We forget to enjoy life. We forget to just take a look at the scenery, smell the roses, as they say, right? You know what I
Yes.
mean? And just know when to just chill out and fall back. Have a drink, sit in a hammock, go to the beach. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know what I mean? I love the beach. You know what I'm saying? I just love outdoor scenery stuff. You know what I mean? So that's just my thing. As well as I also like fine dining things too. I like a lot of different things. But with that being said, it's just having a good balance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for me, I always say that like being an adult is fun, but if somebody was to ask me what would heaven be for me, it would be me being a child, hanging out with my grandparents. That would be heaven for me. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like, it's good to have fun. It's good to have like, freedom, but I would still be under the constraints of my grandparents and still be a child because that was the best time of my life. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Alrighty. Well, I definitely want to thank you all so much for joining, and thank you all of the listeners and watchers who joined in, the people who joined the chat. Um, Thank you for tuning in to another conversation on the Intellectual Soapbox. So, adulting has no tried and true right and wrong rules. Everyone navigates it on their own, to the best of their abilities. But all I can say is hold on tight because life comes at you hard. The further you get away from that nest and the more you move into being on your own, and mom and daddy's not going to be there to wake you up and pay your bills and do this and that. Hold on tight and get ready for the ride of adulthood. And don't forget to read the fine print next time. So I'm going to leave you all with one more quote. Um, I walk around like everything's fine, but deep down in my shoe, my sock is falling off. So sometimes it feels like that in life. Like I'm fine, but yeah, my socks are falling out of my shoes, literally and
Mm,
figuratively. So I want to thank you all. Thank you, Saida, for joining us. If you would like to join us next time, we could adjust the time, maybe talk about that to fit your schedule, so that you can be here with
Thank
us.
you.
And anyone else in the chat who would like to be a guest on next week, just let us know. We'll be happy to
mhm.
accommodate you. Mr. Bessidor, you want to take us out?
Well, definitely. Thank you all for oh thank all thank everybody in the chat. Thank you ladies for coming up. I truly appreciate both of you. QB and Saida, thank you so much. And check out Conversations next week. We also have some other great things coming up on Intellectual Soapbox with Saida and the Wheel of Pressure. Look out for that. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna do some other stuff too. You know what I mean? I may do some uploads, you know what I mean, stream about some other stuff as well. So but yes, thank you all for definitely being here, and thank you all for tuning in. With that, y'all have a good evening. We will check y'all. Peace and blessings.
Bye.
The DJ, the DJ, the DJ, the DJ.